Hey guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. For this video tutorial, we are continuing with word processing, and again we are using the Microsoft Word application. Now in our last tutorial we started looking at the Home tab, which is located on our ribbon, and for this we identified the font grouping, where we looked at the different formatting features that are associated with that area. For this tutorial, we will be moving on to the paragraph grouping, where we will also look at the related formatting features and what each of these are able to do. So again, we begin with our first row followed by our second row. Now in our document, we want to create a set of questions or sentence to show how these adjustments are made. So the first thing that I want to do is to create a question. Maybe, what are your top 3 fruits? Followed by the question sign. Once that question has been completed, we can go ahead and select the enter on our keyboard to move to a new line. So each time we want to move to a new line, we would hit the enter tab. So the first fruit, grape, enter. Second, third. So that is currently my top 3 picks. So the next thing that I can go ahead and do is to drag my mouse over this just to highlight that I am going to apply some formatting. Now the first thing located in my list is a bullet feature, and what this does is to apply some symbols beside the list that I currently created. So there are few selections there where we can decide which one we would prefer to use. However, I am using the diamond listing from that one. So the next thing that I want to do is to place my cursor at the end of the last thing in that list, which is the word mango, and once my cursor is placed there, I will select my enter on the keyboard 2 times. If I press enter 1 time, then you observe that there is a continuation of the bulletin, the diamond bullet. However, I don't want that, so I select enter a second time to remove it. So now I can proceed to create my second question. So second question could probably say, what are your top 3 subjects? Again, we select enter each time we want a new line. However, for this example, I am not going to type up my list first. What I want to do is to select the formatting feature first and then add my listing. So the second feature is our numbering, which applies a list based off our regular number system, Roman numeral, or using alphabets. In this case, I'm using our regular number system. So my first subject, information technology. Second one, I could say animation. Third, French. So that would give my top 3 subjects. Now a third example, we have a third type of list. This is similar to our numbering list, but what this one would indicate is a multi-level list, meaning that if we want to create an outline of something, then we could give or use this list to separate the different aspects of that list. So again, my cursor is at the end of this this list, and then I select enter 2 times to provide my third question. So we say, what are your top 3 countries? And then again we select the multi-level, and we can select any one of the random outline there. So I selected the first one. I want to make the changes. So for this one, countries, let's say Jamaica, Canada, USA. and that is top 3 for this example. Now moving on to the next area, we have the decrease indent and increase indent, and this works as a pair because one moves towards a margin while the other moves further away from margin. So for this example, I'm going to write a line that says, I love technology, just to show you the example. Currently this line is closest to the margin, and our margin begins on this side. If I want to move this further away from the margin, I would select the second option that says indent. So if you observe, when I select this 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., it keeps moving this sentence further away from the margin. So basically, it would indicate that this moves to a location that does not fit into where it actually started. So if I select the decrease indent, then it would reverse my steps and return the sentence back to its original location. Now that is the purpose of the decrease and the increase indent. Similar to our margin in our notebooks or whatever form of books that we use that contain those, we have our margin to indicate that this is a safe place to start our writing and this is a safe place where it ends. Our next example is our sort, and what our sort does is to arrange our list in alphabetical order, whether it is from A to Z or from Z to A. Now if, for example, we are going by last name, so we would have ascending order, A, B, C, D, E, etc. However, if it was descending order, then it would begin from Z and then we're rewinding back to A. So I am going to highlight the first list just to see how this example works. So if you are able to, well, you should be able to see my highlighted list. So the first in the list is grape, pineapple, and then mango. If I wanted to sort this from A to Z, then I would select the AZ option, and it currently highlights paragraph. I'm going to leave it as that and text the same. If I wanted to say A, B, C, D, etc., then I would highlight the one that says ascending, and this automatically is what is selected on your computer system. So once I select this, I'm allowing you to see before we make the changes. So it's grape, pineapple, mango. Once I select OK, then you realize that mango and pineapple switched places based on how they appear in the alphabet. Now our second example, with the 3 subjects, we are going to use the descending sort where we move from Z to A. So A would be the last in our option, etc., or in our list rather. So we select the sort and then the pop-up box. We don't change anything here. The only thing that we change is from ascending to descending. Alright, so it's information technology, French, and then animation. So it does a reverse. In our next example, I had copied a set of information from the internet, so I am now going to go ahead and select the paste option, and as you can see, that information currently appears in this document. What I'm going to do is to highlight this with my mouse, and then I will look at, so first we identify the difference among the 4, and then we see how they make changes in this paragraph. So the first option says to align left, second center, third align right, and then the fourth is justify. Align left would mean that the information would appear equal from the left hand side, and if you observe on the right hand side, the ending is imbalanced, meaning that not all of the words continue in a straight line going down. So as you can see, at the beginning it's a straight line going down, but at the right hand side it is not a straight line, and that is what the left align does. If we select center align, then automatically it tells us that the alignment is centered, meaning that left and right are not balanced, but where the center is concerned, that is where the changes were made. If I selected the right align, then as you can see on my right side, the information going down is balanced. However, on the left side, the changes were made, or it becomes imbalanced or unbalanced. And then our fourth option is justify, and justify, what it does is to make both our left and our right appears to be equal going down. So as you can see, it's equal, meaning that they're all ending the same and it all begins in the same. So the purpose of the justified is to equal everything throughout this selected paragraph. Now we're keeping this information highlighted for this paragraph just to show you the next example. The next formatting feature is the line and paragraph spacing. What this does is to apply some spacing between the paragraphs so that the users can easily read and understand, as well as to display the content based on the purpose of that information. So if I select the arrow here, we have a variety of options. So we have 1.0, meaning that there is only one spacing there. 1.15, it adds a little bit of spacing. The next one, 1.5, as you can see, the adjustments are being made each time we change the number. 2 gives us a great amount of space. 2.5, it adds some more, and then 3 would give us a very large amount of line spacing. So again, the line spacing is up to the user and the purpose for which the document will be used. So for this example, we will use the 2.0 line spacing. The next option, again, I am going to highlight. Let me highlight the one that says I love technology. For the next option, it gives us a shading. What the shading does is to apply a background color to the selected text. So as you can see, I love technology, I'm going to use a yellow, and as you can see, the background color of that text becomes yellow. So it would be similar to the highlighter, but in this instance it adds a background color to whatever text it is that we want to apply it to. Excuse me. The next selection, I am going to highlight the first in the list, and for this selection, the next one is borders. Borders add whether bottom border, top, left, right, no border if you don't want any, all if you want everything to be bordered, or just outside if you don't want continuous lines running through everything. So for this example, we'll just select the all borders, and what this does is to apply border for every single thing in the selected area. And then our last example is the show or hide feature. What this does is to show us where our paragraph or sentence ended or began based on where we have our information located. So once I select that, it shows where each of these paragraphs ended, and yes, so that just gives us easy recognition of where we ended each line of information in this document. And that basically sums up our paragraph groupings and the different formatting features. I hope that you learned something new today, and do check out our next videos to be posted. Thank you so much for watching.